no parent asks to be a parent-driven researcher. I can't imagine. It's not what I wanted in life. And on top of that, very early on, the ultra rare disorder that my daughter and the daughter of the family we co-founded Cure AP4 with, it was Cure SPG 47 to begin with. There were 2 girls. We were trying to find a therapeutic to intervene on the ultra rare neurodegenerative disorder of 2 girls. And it's been 9 years, I believe. There's been 3 other disorders identified and many other parents found throughout the world that have children with this disorder. I think the registry's at 200 something now. And I found early on, because we started this nonprofit and I have had a history of nonprofit experience, American Cancer Society, Muscular Dystrophy Association as a healthcare service coordinator, it came natural to me to set up the patient family group on the support group on Facebook and to monitor it and to get to know the families and the kids to the degree that I have. And then I found that not only am I advocating for my daughter, but I'm advocating for families from different countries, different languages, and children of all ages. And I take that very seriously. When Robbie was first diagnosed and we started this research-driven nonprofit, I decided that I could not look at myself when Robbie was grown if I had not put my head down and decided to try to do anything possible, everything possible, to try to find a therapeutic and intervene on the neurodegenerative nature of this disorder that was very lightly documented at the time. She was the 10th in the world that we knew of diagnosed, and now much more so with the natural history study that we are very fortunate to have and grateful for. The leading PI, Dr. Darius Ibrahimi Fakari. I'm not going to talk too much about research right now. I do want to say gratitude towards the people that have gotten us here, the researchers and network and institutions that we would never be where we are today without them. I know my last post, there's been gaps and there's been communication issues and there's been things that I have spoken out about because I feel so fiercely protective of not just my daughter and her future, but the other families that might not have the extent of knowledge that I have just in experience and with conferences and back end stuff and history. And anyway, State of the Union. I'm no longer with Cure AP4. That's in my content, that's in my posts. I think going back over the past week, I have made a bunch of posts about what I have done to help sort of drive some research forward. And while I can't take credit for much other than ideas or connections or introducing people or finding researchers, I do take pride in the fact that I think I have a good instinct with things, and particularly with Unraveled Bio, where I found when they were at the Wyss Institute, and they have predicted some therapeutics that are actually showing efficacy in tadpoles. I don't know where the research is with that because I'm not part of Cure AP4 anymore, which is maddening. And I'm sure I could ask. It's just still a little keeps making space from that. But I also recognize that there's other opportunities that I can do or take, spearhead, that can help with hopefully all of the hereditary spastic paraplegias, not just the AP4. And a couple research things that I want to look into and kind of go my own way. I've been saying a lot things that I'm going to do and planning to do. I have a lot of goals in life, and I haven't been getting a lot of headway. This has been a very busy couple of years. It's been unpredicted, as I couldn't have anticipated it. But I do think I'm slowly making headway, and I do think I want to start a nonprofit that will address some of the stuff that isn't getting taken care of or prioritized. And that's one of my goals. And another goal, and I have a call on Thursday with a couple of brilliant researchers that are working with mitochondrial intervention and potential restoration in disease models. And we're going to talk and maybe work with the tadpoles and see where that goes. So it's all, don't want to state anything as fact, because I've realized life is a moving target. But that's one of my things. That's a more urgent thing for me, because it's a disease and it's neurodegenerative. I also have a venture philanthropy, a business idea, because of my experiences in nonprofit and recognizing what gaps need to be filled, and knowing that the technology is out there to be able to do it, that it's not, it exists. It just hasn't been applied in the way that I envision it being applied, to be able to help more with communications and education and empowerment for the patient families and the patients. And I think that's key, because we feel so vulnerable to begin with, and it's so like you're just hanging there for any communications about what's going on in research. And the people doing the research, it's so busy. It's and the people running the nonprofits, they're doing it as a parent-driven researcher, oftentimes on top of jobs and on top of caregiving, and things get dropped or ignored or just can't fit in. So that's a goal, and I might start working on that too. I can throw some financials towards it now, and I am excited to hopefully reach my potential on that. It involves AI, it involves machine learning. It's sort of cutting edge, I guess. And that brings me to me being more outspoken in life. And one of my other goals is to be a podcaster and a speaker, motivational and inspirational, because I've been through a lot, but I've also recognized that I've been blessed a lot, and I've been able to keep, more often than not, a positive mindset. And very early, a few years ago, when my hairdresser heard me talking about my business ideas, she insisted I follow an influencer named Gary Vaynerchuk. And it was about business at first. And then I started realizing that he talked about like mental strength and resilience and patience and all these things that don't always come intuitive and aren't always learned or taught. And it was an eye-opener. It got me speaking out more. It got me to get past worrying about, what people would think. And clearly I've taken that and run with it, I think, for the most positive way possible, because I don't think I would have been able to look myself in the mirror in the end if I couldn't speak out the way I have. And I hope to do that for others.